I'm not claiming to be an expert, but after playing and modding Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, I thought I'd address some things I feel are overlooked, especially by first-time modders. In this video, I will be breaking down the basics of modding and how to do it. By the end of the video, you should have a better understanding of how modding works, and Grand Theft Auto 5 with all the essentials to mod. I advise you watch this video at least once before trying to follow along. The first and most crucial is your hardware specifications. To check your specs, open Settings, System, and scroll down to About. If your device has a gaming mode, make sure you enable it and set the game to high performance. If your device has different performance presets, make sure high performance is enabled. The minimum requirements are 8 GB of RAM, 2 GB VRAM with 125 GB HDD storage. Although most modern devices surpass these requirements and are capable of running the game, it doesn't mean you won't struggle when increasing your graphics settings. As you increase the graphics quality settings, the amount of VRAM used will also increase. If it's increased too much, it will cause your game to lag and possibly crash. Therefore, lowering the quality of graphics may not be as aesthetically pleasing, but may be more beneficial and make your game run more efficiently if you have a limited VRAM capacity. The closer you get to filling the allocated video memory budget, the more likely you are to suffer from lags and crashes. Here's a side-by-side benchmark comparison. On the left, graphics are set to high or ultra. On the right, the settings are set to normal. As you can see, there's a noticeable drop in frames per second when using max settings, but if you have a higher RAM and VRAM capacity, increasing them may not have as much of a dramatic drop in FPS. I would only suggest modding if you are able to run the game at max settings and still have a healthy amount of VRAM and hard drive storage available. If you have less than 4 GB of VRAM, I would suggest avoiding modding altogether and just trying to optimize the graphics settings for better performance. The type and amount of mods you install will increase the VRAM budget and will push the required storage over 125 GB. If your game doesn't run well without mods, it won't run any better with them. I have an RTX 3050 with 6 GB VRAM and am capable of running the legacy version of the game at max settings without any lags or crashes at around 60 frames per second, but am fully aware adding too many mods will reduce performance and may cause my game to lag or crash. I suggest optimizing your graphics settings, then installing and testing one mod at a time. Although I have an RTX graphics card, it's not really capable of ray and path tracing efficiently without lag due to the amount of VRAM required for those features, so I would only advise playing the enhanced version if you have 8 GB or more VRAM. But note, if you are playing enhanced, you will be limited to the amount of mods available to install, as most mods have been made for legacy and may not be compatible with enhanced. When it comes to modding, the first thing you'll need to install is Script-Hook V. This is required to run all script mods. Some mods may also require the community version, so you may as well install that too. The majority of mods come with a README text file with installation instructions. Even if you're following mine or someone else's guide, I recommend reading them until installing mods feels like second nature. The next essential is OpenIV. This program allows you to view and edit game files. While you're here, you may as well get Packfile Limit and Heap Adjuster. These increase the amount of data the game is able to process and will prevent crashes. There's a reason these are the most downloaded tools on GTA 5 mods. Script-Hook V comes with a basic mod menu, but personally, I've never used it. I prefer and recommend Menyoo 2.0, but this is totally optional. Script mods are installed simply by copying and pasting the ASI and INI mod files, directly into your game directory. Some may come with a folder of assets the mod uses. Once you've run and completed the setup for OpenIV, you'll need to select the game directory. This is where your game is installed. OpenIV comes with ASI Manager. If you installed script hook v to your game directory first, the ASI loader will already be installed. The reason I prefer installing the latest version of script hook v from dev.c directly is because the one OpenIV installs may be outdated for your game version, causing it to crash. You want to install OpenIVASI. This creates a mods folder, making it easier to install mods and prevents you from fucking up the original game files. Now you have a mods folder. You can actually start modding the game. There are several installation methods. The easiest are OIV packages. I always like to start with Natural Vision Evolved, but all OIV packages are installed the same way. Click Open Package Installer in OpenIV. Find the mod you just downloaded. Open and install the packages to the mods folder. Don't forget the reshader files. Some mods will require a different Gameconfig file to work. Recently, I've been running LCPP, NVE, and real cars, but without updating the Gameconfig, the game will crash. If you aren't planning on running LCPP or NVE, you don't need to install this Gameconfig. Some mods are more challenging to install, but will be easy once you do it a few times. If you didn't install NVE, your mods folder will still be empty. So in order to access the DLC packs without fucking up the game, you need to copy the update folder in your game directory to the mods folder. Now let's install a vehicle mod. Make sure you read the description and README text file if it has one to make sure you have the requirements to run the mod. Then copy the mod folder into the DLC packs folder found in Mods, Update x64. Then back out and open Update RPF, Common, then Data. Scroll down to the DLC list XML. Right-click and edit it. Scroll down to the bottom of the list, copy and paste the item DLC pack code for the mod above, but change the name to the name of the mod folder you added to DLC packs. Make sure you save it and run the game to test the mod.
You got the gas in your tank? I'm gonna come around and siphon that shit. Fuck you, homie. There's a
If you want to replace all the cars to real ones, I recommend using Krogan Real Life Traffic Pack. There will be other car packs out there, but this is the one I've used and tested the most. This mod comes with easy-to-install OIV packages. Install Part 1 and Part 2. If you have NVE installed, install the compatibility package in Optional. The next time you run the game, Franklin will have a Dodge Charger. Trevor will have a Jeep Kaiser. Michael will have an Audi A8. Use the mod menu to select other vehicles. I suggest changing the spawner settings to delete old vehicles when spawning a new one. This will help minimize the amount of VRAM being used and reduce the likelihood of your game from crashing. Spawning too many at once may cause the game to crash. Note, most of the vehicles in this pack won't have the correct name or preview images as they are replacements. Lowering the population density and variety will also help reduce lags and crashes. You can still add cars, but I would advise not overdoing it for the reasons I just mentioned. But people have been asking how to get the Fast and Furious cars. So here's how. Download and extract Fast and Furious Car Pack by NSpeak. This is another OIV package. So, installation is simple. However, you'll want to open the README text file and take a picture, or make a note of all the spawn names before running the game and testing the mod. This saves you from trawling through the vehicle lists. I spawned these in director mode so I could control and minimize the population. However, I started experiencing texture lags. This is because of the VRAM budget taken to load the 19 highly detailed cars I just spawned. This is why I advise not spawning multiple vehicles at once, adjusting the spawner settings to delete the previous vehicle. And if you are spawning multiple vehicles, peds, or objects, keep it minimal and delete the unused ones. I recommend keeping things organized by creating a dedicated GTA 5 mods folder and categorizing the mods as you go. Again, this is down to personal preference, but definitely helps when installing numerous mods. Now I've covered vehicle mods and OIV packages. Let's install some clothes and accessories. Like I said previously, it's important to read the descriptions and text files, if the mod has them. Checking the comments can also be helpful. All ICE Everything is a prime example. The description lists what's included, and that you need to install EMF first for all ICE Everything to work, and where to place the outfit XML. To install Easy Mod folder for single-player mods, you need to copy the EMF Single Player folder into DLC packs, located in Mods, Update x64. This can be done in the game directory or open IV like the Caddy mod installed before. Now go back to open IV, Mods, Update RPF, Common then Data. Scroll down to the bottom. Make sure Edit Mode is enabled and add EMF Single Player to the DLC list. Now you have EMF Single Player installed to DLC packs and have updated the DLC list XML. Head back to All ICE Everything. In the mod folder, you will find two folders. Streamed Peds Players is for clothing. Streamed Ped Props is for accessories. It's important you don't get these mixed up. In Open IV, navigate to Mods, Update, x64, DLC Packs, EMF Single Player, DLC RPF, x64, Streamed Ped Players, RPF. This contains three folders. Player 1 is Franklin, Player 2 is Trevor, Player 0 is Michael. All ICE Everything is specifically made for Franklin, so you need to open the folder for Player 1 and drag over the files from StreamPeds Player RPF from All ICE Everything. Then back out and do the same for StreamPeds Props. Once both sets of All ICE Everything files have been installed from Streamed Peds Players and Streamed Peds Props folders, navigate to the Menyoo Outfit folder and drag the All ICE Everything XML file into the Outfit folder found in the Menyoo Stuff folder. Then run the game and test the mod. You should have earrings, sunglasses, bracelets, watches, and the All ICE Everything outfit. But you may have noticed there's no chains. However, if you go back to the mod page, the solution has been pinned in the comments. This is why it's always important to read the descriptions, text files, and comments section before installing any mod. Sometimes it will save you from backpedaling like this. The fix is an OIV package. If you paid attention throughout this video, you already know how to install it.
Everybody gotta go so fucking deep. It ain't deep.
The next time you run the game, you'll be able to select a chain under Top's 2 outer. This fit got Franklin looking like Birdman though, so let's add some more garments and accessories. You may encounter this issue when unzipping mod files. To combat it, you will need to install and use a program like 7-Zip or WinRAR to extract them. Installation method for these mods are the same as all ICE everything. Navigate to Mods, Update x64 DLC Packs, EMF Single Player DLC RPF x64. Copy clothing to Streamed PEDS Players RPF Player 1. Make sure you copy accessories to Streamed PED Props, not Streamed PEDS Players, or they won't work. The same can be done for Trevor and Michael. Just make sure you copy files for Trevor to Player 2. And make sure you only copy files for Michael to Player 0. I suggest saving outfits as they may change when switching to different characters. If you made it all the way through the video, hopefully you should now have a better understanding of modding GTA 5 Legacy Edition and have the ability to install whatever mod you desire. Like, comment, and subscribe if you found this video helpful.
'Cause I never see you out. Are you hiding from me? Somewhere in the